Here we go. Hey, and welcome back to the Right Hand Drive Guys podcast, the show for guys who like right hand drives. As always, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And this is episode 63. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for episode 63. I have quite a bit of my own car stories, you could say.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do too.
Oh, yeah, plenty of them.
And, storytelling and kind of experiencing other people's lives through story is always like a great time. Like, I feel like I'm like the most engaged when somebody's like telling a story that obviously I'm interested in.
Right.
So we figured we kind of do the same and throw out, 3 or 4 of our own little stories that involve our car lives.
Dude, sounds good.
You ready?
Let's get into it, yeah.
I'm going to let
excited.
you go first. You're going to have the first one.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Sorry, I know I threw that right on your lap like that. This wasn't planned like this, so.
Well, for my first story, it's kind of a quick one.
Okay.
But it's one of those, I guess you could say, core memories I have.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, I'll always kind of remember. And it was the first time I rode in a drift car.
Whoa.
On a track.
On a track.
Correct. So I think it was like 2000, either late 2007, early 2008. I had a buddy that lived in St. Louis, and at the time I rode BMX. So did he. So
that's cool.
I knew him through that, but he was also into the 240 scene and, drifted and did all that. Mm-hmm. So pretty much he said that there was a track day going on, and I was like, sweet, I'll check that out, because I knew what drifting was. I didn't have a 240 or anything at the time, but I was definitely interested. I was still into cars and still like, I don't know, I was still super into it. I was just more into, bikes and BMX at the time.
At the time, yeah. That's more what you could afford, right? Like that was the level before cars.
Yeah.
That was the interest that was affordable at those ages.
Right. All throughout high school and stuff, that was the thing. And then, right as I graduated high school, it was started going more towards cars. So anyway, we were up for the weekend. We went to this track day and, just pretty much watched people drifting at Gateway Speedway? No, what is it? Gateway Motorsports Park? That's what it is, I think. It's in St. Louis. It's like the NASCAR track. They have an infield that's pretty sick. And I think to this day, Formula D has an event there. But
that's
they didn't at the time. But, so we were checking out the event, watching everyone drive, and I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, just seeing everything. And, like, St. Louis is pretty close to Chicago, and Chicago always had, like, a pretty decent scene. And there was always sick cars coming down from Chicago to these events. A bunch of, like, the Origin people, and people I later found out to be, like, the guys from Toge Factory.
Mm-hmm.
They were out driving, and one of those dudes was, like, one of the first guys to give me a ride-along.
Oh, that's sweet.
And it was in a 240, like S13 coupe, and it had like this crazy livery on it. It had an Origin body kit, like
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
then.
For sure. And it was SR, and it sounded crazy, dude. Like just super loud. Like you know how that S14 is. Dude.
Yeah.
You can picture the sound. You know how it is. So yeah, I hopped in the car, threw on a helmet, and yeah, that track is super fast. So it was like top of third gear. Dude, slams it sideways, goes through this chicane, slams it back the other way, and just ripping, dude. And like just wide open, tire smoke, like just banging limiter, all that.
Like, yeah.
And it was just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like
it's like chaos but harmony at the same time. And you like, yeah.
And he just killed it, dude. And then just like locked in on the sweeper and just nailed it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it was just like the most perfect thing. And I was like, wow, that was crazy. That was like the first time I was ever like in a drift car on a track. and like really getting that full experience. And ever since then, dude, it's always been like
drift oriented.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It was always that was always piquing my interest. So
Yeah, no doubt.
that pivotal moment,
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
and getting that feeling was just like none other.
Yeah.
Got me hooked for life.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially during those, years in the late teens, early 20s, those type of experiences that come along, like definitely can shape, the rest of your life, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, a lot of my stories are more about me like getting in trouble. Cuz I mean, I've gotten in a decent amount of trouble in cars for sure. I mean, I got too much. So I'll try to make mine like somewhat quick. Maybe I can get through more of them, but
Yeah.
so when I lived in Tennessee, this was probably 2006. Yeah, 2006.
Yeah.
So I lived in Tennessee. I lived with my childhood best friend's mom. She had moved down there. I lived with her. And so him and I growing up together, he went into the military. I was doing college. And so he bought an Evo 8. It was an 03 Evo 8, the first model year in the U.S.
Sick.
It was sick. It had low mileage. It was black. It was a sweet car. And so he was super. It was Randy. Shout out Randy. He was super awesome about it. And this dude would let me use this car like it was mine while he's, at a base somewhere or potentially overseas. He's like, just use it like it's yours. I want somebody to enjoy it. And I'm like, okay.
Good friend.
Yeah. And like I modified it for him, and I took care of it the best to my knowledge at that point in my car career, right? I was young. That was a while ago.
Kept it clean.
Yeah. So I was in Tennessee. I was I think we said it was Gallatin Pike, right?
Yeah.
So I stop at this place Dodge's Chicken, and this is like a 4-lane. It's a 4-lane highway.
Yeah.
And so I stop at Dodge's Chicken. I'm gassing up, and there's a dude in a Mustang, of course, and he's chirping me, and
Very common in that area.
Yeah.
Super, super common in that area.
Yeah.
The few Mustang guys I know.
they're from around there.
Yeah.
So I was in their territory. You could say it was pretty much like I shouldn't have been out there, but yeah. So anyways, he's chirping me. There's another dude with me, one of our Randy and I's mutual friends, and he's like, dude, just race him. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to like race this guy. Like what?
Right.
And dude's like, what? Come on, listen to your buddy race it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like 20 roll, let's get it. We do the 20 roll, and we are ripping, like for sure, like rip way too fast, ripping.
Yeah.
And a sheriff, not like the local cop, but a sheriff comes oncoming, and it's 4 lanes, but there's no median.
Right.
And so he comes and he whips those on, dude. This experience is the craziest police interaction that I've ever had, in the sense of he did the 180, dude, like did the 180, dude, pulls us over. I was in front of the Mustang, of course. I was gapping him, And so the Mustang pulls behind me, I pull over, right?
Yeah.
The cop comes up and does the sideways screeching thing with the car, dude. I bullshit you not. That's what I'm saying. This was the craziest thing. He does the like sideways and stops, and then swings open his door, dude. Draws his gun, dude.
What?
Yes, dude. Because I mean, and mind you, we're definitely doing over 100.
Yeah.
Right.
And
so
in that area, I'm sure it's like a 35, maybe
maybe
tops.
40.
Yeah.
because it's the 4-lane. But dude, so he draws his gun and puts it over the door thing, like, and I'm like, dude,
what?
oh my gosh, like, I'm like originally obviously from Maine, like very low key here, like definitely none of that stuff.
Right.
He draws the gun and he's like, ordering me to put my hands outside of the car with the drop the keys outside of the car, open the door, get out, put your hands on the hood. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, like, what did we do? Like, no. So, once dude realizes that we're just a bunch of idiots, and he does the same thing to the Mustang, dude, but because I was in the front and the Mustang couldn't have left to get around me or him, really, he was focused on me first. And then, of course, he asked us both the stories, and I think the Mustang guy probably, like, was acting like I was like harassing him and he was trying to get away from me or something, and I was just like, no, he asked me if I wanted to race and we raced. And I'm sure the cop was like, all right, you guys are idiots, but I got a super hefty fine.
Honesty gets you a long way.
A lot of times. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You still might get a ticket, but it might be a little less
he didn't arrest me, and I was going.
Exactly.
I was criminal speeding for sure, and he didn't arrest me. Although I thought I was dying,
dude.
I seriously thought I was like.
I would be thinking I'm dying too if a cop passes me sideways. Hops out with the gun, dude. Did he slide over the hood, dude?
No. He was kind of like heavy set, like, so I don't know if he's like trying to show his authority, but that's my first Tennessee car story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
They get rowdy out there, dude. I don't.
Yeah. No.
Luckily for me, the police, like, I haven't had too many run-ins with them, like, while I'm doing stuff. I haven't had that many.
Wow, good for you.
Other than, like, speeding, like.
Sure.
Like, but nothing terrible. I mean, I got, like, a reckless driving once, but it was because I was in a completely bone stock 91 240 SX automatic. Car was mint. Just picked it up, and like, I don't know, I would do this goofy thing where I would just floor it down this straight section of highway just to like top it out and like, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
So I was doing that one night and got caught.
And you got reckless for that?
It got reckless for that, but it was like I was doing 110 or something. They caught me.
Wow,
at.
And that thing was shaking,
because, dude,
smoking, farting, puking, dude.
Well, dude, it was an automatic. So it didn't have like the speed limiter at 115 or whatever it is they have.
So you popped it into overdrive and you went.
Dude, yes. And I was like, that was pretty cool. Like kind of goofy though, right? Like just kind of
right.
Like, kind of a pointless.
He probably was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but dude, I mean, but if you get a reckless driving ticket, you have to go get booked and everything. Like you get mugshot taken, fingerprint, and all that. Like I didn't realize that at the time. I just thought I had like this.
What year was that?
Probably, like 2008, 2009.
Weird, because my next story is about my. I got driving to endanger.
Driving to endanger. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like, so.
Holy cow, what does that mean?
Yeah, well. Let's just say.
Were you trying to hit people?
Well, so I was in this Evo again, right? And this time, Randy, my buddy, was with me, so it was like all good, right?
Right.
But so we, like, over in Goodlettsville, there's a KOA, like, opposite side of Goodlettsville than like Rivergate, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is a fucking Evo, dude. Yeah. Rally. Yeah, probably super stupid, but now mind you, we're talking Tennessee,
dude,
and so KOA is KOA is full year round mostly. So there's a really long dirt road, and then like all these little offshoot, like kind of like half circle comes back into the road things where the camping areas are, right? So I'm like hitting those like off of it and just like sideways through those, hammering back up the main road sideways. And so it's dry as shit. And so all of that dust is literally pluming in the air, dude.
Yeah.
Of course there's a cop coming down. What is it? I can't remember that opposite Pike, whatever side that is. I don't know. Yeah. But he's coming down there and he sees all the dust in the air over the KOA, and he's like, what the hell? So he just sits on the side of the road. And of course, you know, he like lets me do it. When I'm done, I come back up. The car is brown. Literally, it's brown. And there's just a trail of shit behind me, and he just flips the lights on. Like,
yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, and
What do
I
you
just
mean?
stop. And dude, yeah, driving to Endanger was because there was people there, like in campers and stuff.
Wow. Okay,
So I was
see.
endangering. Yeah. So that was another big Tennessee ticket that I got.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I got a lot of tickets in Tennessee. Tennessee, I was wilding out.
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie.
that's crazy.
Like I did too much in Tennessee.
They were too busy with you. They didn't give me any.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I can go into the
Like,
next one, or you should
dude,
probably tell
no,
a story.
go ahead. Holy
Okay.
cow, you got another one with police, dude?
Yeah,
Holy
and
cow.
this one was pretty bad. So, and I hope some of the guys that were involved in this actually are listening. But so, me and like 3 other guys, 2 STIs and S2000, and I'm in this Evo. And it was after the bridge, you know, one night, like, you know, we hit the bridge, we do that whole thing, and then everybody goes and takes runs, you know. And so we hit I-40, and our thing was, you know, okay, listen, this was a long time ago. I just want to say before I even say this, like, I was like 20, 21, 22, like, not, like, I would not do these things today. So,
and that whole area was way less populated back then than it is now.
and there was a lot of car dudes in Tennessee, and we all are in Nashville, and we all did like the same. We all did that, you know.
Yeah.
So, but so we go on I-40 4 wide, and you know we're doing a 20 kick, and like, but I-40 is 65.
Yeah.
So we have to back traffic up for a long ways in order to get our 20 kick. And so we just slow traffic down 4 wide. And then once we have, you know, the solid space in front of us, we do the 20 kick. So, but that's solid space, you know, we're
Right.
racing, you know? So anyways, dude, we get it down to the 20 kick, dude. Bang, bang. Woo! Dude, right behind me was an undercover cop. Dude, it couldn't have been more crazy that the car directly behind me is an undercover dude. And I'm like, dude, no.
How?
So, you know, I'm not evading, right?
Right.
Because he's right behind me. The 2 STIs, dude, drop hammer and bounce, dude. And it's only him. So he can only get who pulls over. If somebody leaves, like, they're gone, right?
Right.
So me and the S2000 pull over, and I'm like, oh, dude, same type of deal. He didn't skid sideways and shit, but he got out, dude, drew his weapon, had us get out of the car, dude, on the hood, on the trunk. Dude, the whole thing. So then once he clears us that we don't have weapons and that we're really just idiots, he one by one, because there's me and another guy in my car, him and another guy in his car. One by one. Dude, this took hours. One by one, he interrogates us, puts us in the back of his vehicle, you know, goes through the whole thing, trying to, and me, like, being 21.
Who's your buddies?
Yes. Well, of course, he wanted to know who the STIs were, but we
right.
definitely weren't playing that. But I'm like, no, dude, listen, my car, it's messed up. We were slowing down to listen for the noise. There was a noise, and we were trying to listen.
Right, there's always something, right?
Yeah.
Right,
He's like, dude, shut the hell up, dude.
I was testing it.
Yeah. On I-40?
You're right. At 11:30 at night?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
What are you talking about?
So he gave us legit street racing tickets. Like, I had not even known that was really a thing, and he gave us legit street racing tickets that were not just a fine. It was a summons to court, like, no get out of jail free, no, you know, and it was an $800 and something fine, dude.
Whew.
Yeah. Like, in the second time, dude, you lose your license and you have to spend time in the slammer.
In the slammer, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Time.
The
You get a
second time you get a
served.
street racing ticket. Yeah.
Dude.
So don't play in Nashville on
That's
I-40.
pretty crazy. Like, because, I mean, back then, I was around a group of friends that, like, we would go out street racing. We never really ran into that many problems. I mean,
Yeah, me neither until the
like,
undercover was
holy
chilling.
cow, dude.
And he waited for us. He
Yeah.
like knew, dude. He
He knew when you
waited
guys
for the
started honking
second
off.
honk. Yes, dude. I was like, you mother. Yeah, but so that's my third. That's my last Tennessee story. I mean, I have a couple more, but like, I don't want to play it out too hard. You know, on you know,
Holy cow,
Davidson County. You feel me?
dude. Whew.
I know that was heavy. Take a drink, dude. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one involves getting my first right-hand drive car. My 180SX I had back in the day. Pretty cool story because that car was like kind of illegal.
Yeah,
being
yeah.
honest, like it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Friggin' VIN swap, chassis swap,
dude. But yeah,
swapped.
so pretty much like this car came up for trade on the local forum, 10-speed, right? Came up for sale, and he said he's looking for trades, and I'm like, huh. I got this RB20 S13 coupe with a Sylvia front end body kit. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to offer him a trade on this 180SX because the 180SX has like, I don't know, it's like a drift car spec for that time, I guess. It had like a bolt-in roll cage. It had like stripped interior, a bucket seat with the halo like crazy.
Yeah, early day drift day stuff.
Yeah. But it had an SR20 with a 2871R that was supposedly built and like had all these upgrades and whatnot. But yeah, I was like, whatever, this is sick. I'm going to take my shot, see if he'll trade me. If he'll trade me, dude, that'll be insane.
Yeah.
So I hit him up, and like he's in Alabama, like a couple hours away. And yeah, I mean, we pretty much just talk and figure out the deal. And yeah, I'm like, I can come down tomorrow night and drive my car. We can do the trade.
You're driving that one back, yeah.
Dude, right? These cars are always driving back, right? I don't know why, but
whatever. You don't have to have a trailer.
So anyways, like I end up getting one of my friends, and we go down to Alabama, but it's not like any part of Alabama I've ever really been to. It's like you go south a little bit, then you get off the interstate, and then you go down this highway, down another highway, and it's just like the sticks in Alabama. I don't know where I am. To this day, I don't even remember where it was, to be honest. But it was somewhere in northern Alabama.
Yeah.
So, like, we leave my house around 5 p.m. and it gets dark pretty quick. And we get there probably 8:30 at night and check out the car. And he checks out mine. Everything seems to check out, right?
So you're signing slips?
Yeah, pretty much. Only thing was... I forgot why we didn't, but I wanted to keep my wheels and he wanted to keep his. So I don't think I had my wheel key or a jack or something along these lines, because this kid lived in an apartment complex. He had no garage. This car was just sitting out like full, like, 180SX, full body kit, like just crazy looking car.
Wild ass, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we hop in the car, and I didn't even test drive it before driving it home. We just, took each other's word.
Yeah.
It was one of those things,
I love
right?
those transactions.
Like, it was just one of those things we did. He like kind of talked so much, it kind of sidetracked me from, my plan.
He knew what he was
and
doing.
Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to drive the car, obviously, before I drove it back through the night, a few hours back home, but I didn't. But
did it work out?
So yeah, I mean, we hop in the car, we go to a Walmart, pick up some things, because that was like the only thing that was open in the town.
So you did an oil change right there in the parking lot?
yeah, filled her up with some oil, some 2050.
Yeah.
Some Rotella. Got some Rotella for the ride home, just Walmart, in case.
Yeah, dude.
No, but we got gas and everything, and we pretty much just got on the road back home, and like I said, we're just going down these highways, and like we're in the middle of nowhere. Nothing is around, nothing's open, and I'm just in this unknown car, right-hand drive. Yeah. It's straight pipe, just you know the feel. But we're going through these small towns, and there's cops everywhere. Like, just, there's one at every, like, every time you enter town, it seemed like there was a cop, and I'm like, holy cow, man! Like, which one's coming out?
Sweating,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Sweating the whole time back. But you know, we eventually made it back to the interstate, and everything was cool. And you know, went up the interstate half an hour, and I was getting off my exit, and everything was still cool. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. I can't believe I got this car. And then as I'm driving, I look in my rearview mirror and I see, like, I don't know about you, but I can always kind of pick out cars that I know in like my rear view. And I saw what I thought looked like pop-up headlights. And I was like, is this an S13 behind me? Like, no way. It's like 1 or 2 a.m. right now. There's no way there's another S13 behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, so I slow down a little bit, gets closer, and he ends up being an S13. It's pretty sick, and it's this dude that I've seen the car around like once or twice, but I never met the guy or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it was a small community with those cars, so like everyone kind of knew each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was this guy who's like, hey, is that 180 SX that was for sale on 10-speed? Like, just random dude, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, sweet, can I check it out? Like, I'm like, sure. So we pull into this gas station, and that ended up being this dude, Tony, that like I still know to this day. He still has, I think he might still have that same exact car from way back
Isn't
then.
that crazy?
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy, but I ended up making it home, and, you know, nothing was too sketchy on the car for a couple weeks, but
yeah, you love like being able to like make it back after that. Like, yeah, for sure. I know that feeling,
especially after like, you know, it just being like the first time in a right-hand drive car, it kind of being sketchy back then because the car was a 98, I believe. So it was only 10 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
And
I mean, that's not super old like back then, you know? So my story moves from Tennessee over to Colorado. I was stationed at Fort Carson in Colorado for a couple years, back in like 08, 09, like 07, 08, 09. So, out there, I felt like there's a very big all-wheel drive, like, scene.
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of STIs, a lot of Evos.
I feel like that's common around military bases too.
Yeah, I think so. 35R Evos for sure.
All day.
And it's almost like the dealerships around there got more allocations for Evos and STIs because there was just so many. And so,
I swear.
Yeah,
I swear that was a thing.
Yeah, I think so. And so we, my wife and I both got Evo 9 MRs. I got a gunmetal gray. She got a wicked white. And
that's sick.
Yeah, they were both used with super low miles, and we each got one, and yeah, that was awesome. We put just like full bolt-ons on hers. But mine, we went ethanol with it, like E85, cams, FP red turbo, you know, all the bolt-ons, whatever. Like, it was 440 horsepower. yeah, to the wheels. It was to all four, yeah, and that's no joke, swear. And so I worked at a shop called Under Pressure Power and Performance in Colorado Springs. And so we did all the work there and tuned it and whatnot. And so we would do a lot of different stuff there. And of course, it's right outside the military base, literally.
Right.
So, you know, you get all kinds of people want to do stuff. And we had a dude pull up in a donk. It was like I don't know what, I can't recall, but it was a donk, right? And
probably a box Chevy.
Right, something like that. Yeah, for sure. And his gas tank was like leaking or something like that, and so we were swapping out the gas tank. And you know, military housing all around, and you know, I had my Evo on the E85, whatever. But Colorado does get pretty cold, and if you know about ethanol, when it's cold, it's like thicker. So therefore, if you don't warm up the car and get, you know, that fuel to kind of thin out, then it overloads and it's bad juju. So I had been parked out front of the shop for hours, and then the guy with the dong needed a ride home. It was like 2 miles down the road. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Instead of taking like the shop van, I was like, yeah, I'll bring you a ride in this. And he's like, oh, your little Cracker Jack toy? And I was like,
my
wow.
what?
Yeah. I was like,
you'll show him.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to take it, but I was like, all right. Like, he's like, so I've never really been in these little 4-cylinder things. Does this thing actually get up and go? And, I knew better, but I was like, little Cracker Jack toy. Like this, because this thing would spin all four off the rip,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It, especially cold tires, right? Like, it would just spin all four and just shoot flames. Like, I love that car until I'm like, yeah, I'll show you what this thing has, right? We were 500 feet from the shop. We were taking this turn out of the shop, and I'm like, I can't even wait, right? I'm like, dude, the old friggin' coolant shower on the windshield.
Wow, dude.
And dude, yeah, I blew a hole in the front end of the block, like so big. The whole,
Windowed
so
it.
big. Yeah, pretty much. Like, and so at first I'm like, oh, maybe I blew a radiator hose or
You wish.
Right, yeah. Or maybe it was, I'm
Holy
sure it was
cow,
just the head
dude.
gasket.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in my
right,
head at that time, right?
Yeah.
No, hell no. As soon as I opened the hood, I was like, threw a rod right through the side of it, dude. We're close enough to the dude's house so that he can walk now, right?
Wow.
But
Should have let him walk anyway after that comment.
I should have. But he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you blow your motor. And I'm just like, dude, all right, listen, like, I'm out of here, dude. Because, like, it's no secret. You're not, like, killing it in the military, but you're making enough to, do what you want.
Right.
It definitely wasn't making enough to repair that motor. That's for sure. So
that's rough. Especially on a new car back then, like,
yeah.
that's pricey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a block and everything.
Yeah,
That's
so
not just
I
a
had to do
rebuild.
it all myself because I wasn't. We tried to get it under like my little extended warranty thing, but then they knew
were
better.
Like, nah,
yeah,
bruh.
they're like, dude, that ain't right. But yeah, that's my blowing motor story. You got one more?
Do I?
I don't know. If not, I got another one. But
yeah, I got one.
okay, run it.
So, yeah, drifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Street drifting used to be a good time.
Oh wow,
And
yeah.
It was one of those things where, like, every time you went out, someone in your group was going to do something silly.
Yeah, of course.
And, dude, like, and it was always just, not everyone would, and not everyone would every time, but it was always someone, dude, that would hop a curb, run off the road, like whatever it might be. But yeah, the one time it was me, we were at this one spot. It was like, it's not necessarily a park, but it's kind of like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like a little cut through road, but it closes at night. Right before it closes, there's like no traffic going through there. So it's like these two little turns that are nice and fun to hit. So we would go through there and kind of hit those turns once or twice and be on our way. Well, one of the nights, one of the times I went through there, my throttle had hung wide open.
Wow, throttle hang.
Dude, and instead of like flicking the car back the other way, I head straight towards this curb.
Oh, wow.
Dude, launched it, right? Luckily, it was one of those like,
Sure,
banked kind of curbs. It wasn't like the
lucky.
straight up like sidewalk. So I got lucky, but yeah, still launched my car. The guy that was in my passenger seat whacked his head like off the ceiling from like,
damn,
dude, it was pretty
that's
crazy.
Legit. You had the long travels on there. Huh?
Yeah, it felt like I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow, dude, what just happened? So I got the throttle unhung and drove my car pretty much right outside of the park because we saw the security coming. And we're like, okay, we can't be around here anymore. So let's get out of here. So I limped the car back to the road. It was leaking oil everywhere. It was...
Dang.
Yeah, it was amazing. It hit the oil pan. It cracked the upper oil pan.
Wow.
So like
you really gave it to her.
Yeah, the oil pan had bottomed out and like the sway bar had like hit it was insane. It was a lot of crunchiness up front, but nothing that couldn't be replaced. So that was all good. But it was a pain in the ass for a few days, having to fix all the oil leaks and like
Oh yeah,
just get it back to where it was, and
without because you're not claiming that or something, right?
Yeah,
like you
no,
got to
I
do
mean,
it. Yeah,
no way I wasn't gonna claim that, but didn't get in trouble, so that was sick.
that is good. So I got my last story is I'll match your curb story with that same Evo 9 MR prior to the motor blowing the winter before. In Colorado Springs we would get generally like 3 or 4 inches, and then it would melt away same day, next day,
Right.
that type of thing. But this one time we got like 6.5 inches or something, and no one was out. And of course, that's when the boys like to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
so me and the boys went to play, and we were on base because there was one MP, whatever. Nobody's doing nothing. So we were kind of just like, drifting around those roads, just scooting around, and we were looking for big parking lots, and the swimming pool had like a big parking lot, but I couldn't remember what the layout of it was, right? Like in the way that the snow was sitting on it, no one had driven in this. Like, it's not plowed, that no one had driven this. So I'm like, dude, I got a clear shot. So, dude, I come into that parking lot sideways super
Feeling
fast because
so good
because I
Feeling
think
so
that
good.
I'm about to slide all the way across this parking lot, dude, and then hammer out of it, right? Because it
Dude,
was like
yes.
a in and an out. So I thought I'm coming, dude. So and I'm, me and my homies, we're having fun. So I'm trying to show him like what's up, right?
Right.
Dude, we hit this curb so hard, dude. It like seriously so hard.
No.
My buddy's head smashed off the side of the window so hard. I've never heard a noise like that. And I broke both passenger side rims, the stock Evo 8 rims.
Whoa.
Both of them broke and fell. So the car couldn't even move after that because the spokes would
Yeah.
So
That's a heavy hit.
yeah, so it bent
Holy
everything.
cow,
It
dude,
bent everything. Like the whole passenger side suspension had to get replaced. Plus the wheels, obviously. The front rotor was fucked up from the wheels breaking. Like, dude, can you imagine, dude? I'm coming into this parking lot, dude. I'm fucking chem blocking it, dude. I'm
Dude,
like,
yeah.
rap, boom, dude. Just like the biggest shock, dude. Oh my
I don't even
God.
want to. That's like a nightmare. That's like,
Yeah. That was bad, but luckily I was able to claim that on my insurance because again, that car was pretty new, and like I wasn't gonna be replacing all that. I would do that today. I would replace all that, no problem. But back then, especially living on base, no garage. There was the base garage, but I wasn't using that like that.
Right.
So. Yeah, I mean,
wow,
huge
dude.
mistake. I have never, ever drifted into a parking lot without driving through it first since then.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest fears up here in the wintertime. Anytime I see those big wide open lots, I'm like,
yeah, what's in there?
What's in there? What's really hiding under there?
Yeah, my buddy won't ride with me in a car anymore. I'm like, hey, dude, let's take a ride. He's like, hell no, dude. Last time I ended up with a stage 3 concussion, dude. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
I mean, do you blame him?
No. So yeah, man, that those were just a few stories of ours, just about our kind of come up throughout. I'm obviously a troublemaker. This guy's obviously just making good memories, but whatever.
Trying, doing something.
You know? But yeah, this was episode 63. We definitely appreciate you listening. As always, hit us up, DM us. You got any questions? You need help importing a car? You want to know our opinion on something? It's at RHDGUIS. Check out the merch. We're starting to list some used parts on our website as well. And you can see that at rhdguis.com. But for episode 63, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.